Trump supporters remind me of loyal sports fans who root for their losing team year after year. These fans stick with their team through the dismal seasons, the lack of discipline, the poor management, and the non-existent team spirit. They just get used to losing, or I don't know, maybe they just don't know any better. But you see, Trump fans are not supporting a game. This is our life. Okay, they need to step up to the plate. Trump supporters have this amazing ability to continue blindly supporting him as he destroys our nation before their very eyes. How does he do it? I mean, how does this man remain popular? I don't understand. In the first 100 days, he's attempted to pass a bill that will leave an additional 24 million people without health insurance. Let me put it to you this way. He's willing to leave the equivalent of every single solitary person in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Philadelphia, Phoenix, San Antonio, San Diego, Dallas, and San Jose with no medical coverage. Do you realize how expensive medical coverage is in America? The prices are astronomical. There's no way people can afford this. We're looking at millions of people avoiding over and over again going to the doctors until their need is so urgent that they have to go to the emergency room. They'll go there with no insurance and they'll pay out of pocket if they can. And God forbid it was something serious, because they're going to be told, I'm sorry, it's too late. I mean, and the strangest thing is the loyalist Trump followers will be the hardest hit by this law. Yet they blindly cheer him on. And there's more. I mean, last month, on Earth Day, there were marches and rallies all over the country for science. Yeah, you heard me. It was for science. I mean, did the protesters want some sort of financial backing for some amazing scientific breakthrough? No. They wanted a president. They were terrified. They wanted a president who believes in science. Trump doesn't just not believe in science. He doesn't believe in scientists. Trump doesn't believe the 98% of the top scientists worldwide who say climate change is real. It's real. And the 84% who are positive that a lot of it's caused by humans. You know, you'd think we'd try to err on the side of, caution maybe with that. But Trump supporters, I don't know. They know better, I guess, and so does Trump. Trump doesn't believe in science, scientists, or the facts, because the fact is climate change is real and it's happening now to nations all over the world. So Trump just thinks this whole global warming thing is some sort of hoax or whatever. I don't know what he thinks, but it's interesting if you think about it. He's requested the Irish government to build a wall to protect his resort that he's been building there because the ocean's coming up and it's because of climate change. So he knows something. Did you realize that shortly after Trump was elected, scientists began frantically copying climate change research data and archiving it in other countries for fear that it would be altered or deleted by the Trump administration? This is real. Trump doesn't believe in vaccinations. This is a thoroughly debunked idea that gained steam thanks to this unscrupulous Andrew Wakefield, who published a paper falsely linking really bad conditions to childhood inoculations. The study was proven to be a hoax, but Trump still seems to cling on to it despite it was actually deemed the most damaging medical hoax of the last 100 years. These kinds of lies have direct implications to death due to the outbreak of contagious diseases. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm going to rely on my medical doctor for advice. He's also not a big believer in sleep. Now, normally, if he wasn't the president, you'd say, who cares? He claims he only gets 3 to 4 hours per night. This, despite the science behind it saying that research has shown that sleep deprivation reduces a person's ability to think rationally, to control their emotions, and to even distinguish between moral and immoral choices. It even severely hampers long-term memory. One study showed that around 18 hours without sleep impairs your cognitive functioning so much that you might as well be inebriated. So if Trump genuinely only sleeps for 3 hours a night, then he essentially is constantly drunk. His judgment is impaired, and he makes world-changing decisions in the White House. Drunk Trump with his finger on the nuclear buttons? That's terrifying. Trump doesn't believe in science. And he doesn't believe in space science. In fact, his budget completely defunded the agency's Earth Science Research Division. The justification came from the president's space advisor, who claims that it's all just politically correct science. And then there's chemistry and biology. The Trump administration doesn't believe that environmental toxins are dangerous. He questions whether asbestos is unsafe or not. This is a carcinogen that's banned by 58 nations and linked to cancer. Clean water is another one of Trump's targets. With his proposal to gut the EPA, Trump would make it much more difficult for the Great Lakes to ever be great again. His budget eliminates restoration projects in the Ionic waterways of America, from Chesapeake Bay to the Puget Sound. One of the first things that this administration did was to rescind a government proposal to ban a pesticide used on a lot of the fresh food that we eat. This chemical was found to be very harmful to the brain and nervous system of children. This move didn't get a lot of attention, but when you're out throwing a half a dozen major lies and missteps a day, it's tough to compete for airtime. It got overlooked. So Trump fans, it's not just your life, it's my life, it's everyone's life. It was never about politics. The man doesn't believe in the basic tenets of science. How are you going to explain this to your children and grandchildren, that your ego got in the way? You allowed a man to destroy their water, their earth, their soil, essentially the entire human habitat, for the chance of making a few extra bucks. My God, please make it stop.